Yeah, good to go tonight.
Yeah.
You've seen Austin up close, you've coached against Ovechkin. Do you see there are different positions forward, obviously, and they go about their business differently, but do you see any similarities between the two?
They both shoot in the net a lot. I mean, there's that. They're obviously both very passionate about scoring goals, love to score, clearly. Yeah, they play different positions and they play differently, for sure. Obviously, Ovechkin's, you know, as dangerous a shooter maybe as the game's ever seen off the pass and the one timer and those kind of things. Austin is, doesn't score as frequently on that type of shot, but scores in different ways. So there's differences in their game for sure, but the results seem to be quite similar. Obviously, Ovechkin's done it for a substantial amount of time and doesn't show any signs of slowing down.
Do you sense that Austin gets up just a little bit more when he's going against an Ovechkin and McDavid, other superstars?
I wouldn't say that. I mean, I think that he recognizes the importance of games and the matchups and things like that. But I haven't noticed that trend, I guess, is what I would say.
Saw Paul McLean was watching him skate there. Was that just see him around here again and the advice that you have?
Yeah, he's been he's been in and out of town a few times. Being around the team, but he's his roles changed this year from what it was last year, but he's still following the team. We communicate frequently throughout. He's watching every game, and I've enjoyed having his presence when it's here, but even when it's from a distance, I think there's great value in that. And someone with his experience, that taking what he learned and what he was a part of with our group last season, but being at a distance enough to just provide perspective and what he's seeing and where the team is trending and how we're playing, or questions that he could ask that he's trying to provide more context for himself, but also makes me think at the same time. So I just think there's great value in all that he brings in his role.
Is Justin Hall out tonight?
Yes.
And what went into that thing? Was that part of the plan of just the rotation, or is there something that you've seen that you?
No, it's mainly just part of the plan here. Obviously, we've tried different things, the last while here, and since Muzzin's come back, and the way we look at it, we've got the 4 left-handed shots that I think are real staples for us, in the back end, and that leaves 2 available spots, and we've got 3 right shots that we like, what each of them bring. Halsey in particular, was a guy that certainly have all the right shots, but even amongst any of our defense has probably played as difficult the minutes as any, other than Riley and Brody for most of the season. Halsey's right there. He's played on the penalty kill, that has been vastly improved this season. He's played on defense on the PK more than any guy that we have. So he brings great value to us there. Yet you look at what Labushkin's brought and his physicality and the way that he kills plays and how great he is defensively. And then Liljegren, the steps that he's taken and really rounding out his game. So we've got some difficult decisions there, but they're good problems for me to have as a coach. And then obviously from a player standpoint, as we're trying to sort through things here, and these games right now are really important for everybody to be at their best. So there is certainly a competition going on.
What do you think of the way Blackwell's fitted for your show?
I've liked them. Obviously, we've moved a lot of things around. I don't even know. I have to go back to look. I don't know if he's played with the same line mates 2 games in a row here yet. So that's obviously on me in terms of how I move things around there. But I think that's part of where we're at in terms of giving different opportunities and getting Clifford back involved in the mix here and having Abrazazi around. So I've used him on wing. Now he's really sort of evolved into being at center there for us, which frankly is not necessarily why we acquired him or what we acquired for him to do. But as it turns out, we've given him an opportunity there. He has played center a lot through his life and is comfortable there. Is good on face-offs and all of that. But his versatility was something we talked about when we got him, and he's shown that for us here. He's helped us on the power play, penalty kill. He scored a couple goals. So I've been happy with him. Obviously we were trying to solidify some things around him.
What went into having Clifford and Simmons on the wings there tonight? Is that a kind of reaction to the opponent you're facing? And what's the identity of that? Like, what do you want them to do?
I mean, obviously, I like having those guys in. I think when they've been in, they've done a good job for us. I look at the Tampa game, and the different times they've played, whether together or separately. I've liked it. I think Clifford's done really well for us, with the speed and physicality that he brings. And then Simmer's really, since he started to come in out of the lineup, I think he's really starting to solidify, what it is we want to see from him. And he's doing it consistently, so the identity of that line, especially certainly on the wings, is just energy, physicality, presence, and taking advantage of the minutes that they get. So that's what I'm looking for, really, from that line, no matter who's in at this point. Obviously, with Spezza and Abruzzese, it's a different mix or different vibe than what it would be tonight. But these guys have played well today, and have played well lately, and I would expect today, with Blackwell, that those guys will have lots of energy and be on their toes and get skating, get on the forecheck.
You found Abruzzese, making the adjustments to the NHL level, coming in mid-season. It's obviously, kind of a tough switch. How do you feel he's adapted?
Yeah, I think he's handled it well. I mean, the things that I expected to see coming in was that he would he'd make smart reads and smart plays and not put himself in bad spots. I think there was the one play in Dallas. There was a bit of a misread by him on the one play there, but that's just more of an experience thing and a communication thing in terms of knowing his role as a winger when he's the first guy back low. But otherwise, he's got the puck on his stick. You can tell he's reading, he's making plays, and he's made a few plays that you're not really expecting a play to be made, and then all of a sudden, boom, it's on somebody else's stick. And I certainly notice it, but I think one of the things that I really have come to appreciate is when the players recognize it. So the guys on the bench kind of perk up a little bit and get excited for a play that's been made on the ice. And that's happened a few times with Nick in terms of how he makes plays and distributes the puck. We've liked what he's done on the power play, the pace and the physicality and all these kind of things. That's the biggest adjustment for a player like him, and that's the hardest part for a guy that's had no training camp, no exhibition, and then he's played this time of year where things are tough. He played him on the road in Tampa, which I thought might have been his best game. It's a game where I gave him the most minutes. Willie was out in that game, and we moved him up, but he did a really good job with that. So we've been very encouraged with how he's done, and we're going to continue to work with him to help with that adjustment.
On defense, Morgan's talked rather glowingly of Ilya Labushkin as a defensive partner, says he's really keen to learn and grow kind of together. Have you noticed that in the times that he's played with Morgan together with Ilya?
Yeah, well, first, one of the great things that I've appreciated about Labushkin since he's arrived here is his attitude and his approach. He is open-minded. He is understanding. He asks questions, and then in addition to all that, he just knows exactly who he is and what he does and what he needs to do. Yet has accepted the things that we've wanted him to work on and get better with, and work with our development team on. So all of that combined, we've got a defenseman that is fitting in very well, no matter who we've played him with or what the situation has been. And like I said, knows exactly who he is. We know we want him to make some improvements with his play with the puck and get it to the forward's hands quicker and smoother and all of that. But the defensive pieces and the physicality and defending our net and all of that has been excellent. And I think that pairs really well with Morgan, who skates the puck and is active on offense and all those kind of things. So we have definitely liked it, and it gives us a good option there.
Do you think Jack was dealing with something that you're going to have to manage moving forward, or is that just more of something coming off the injury? He played a lot and he needed to deal with that.
Yeah, we think it's more just something where he hadn't played in a while, and then played a lot and more than we'd expected on that road trip. So I mean, with goalies, you're managing them every day because it's such a taxing position to play on the body, not just obviously the physical piece of it where you're tired and worn down, but on your body and your joints and all that kind of stuff. Goalies go through a pretty strict regimen in terms of maintaining themselves, and we'll have to continue that with Jack, but he's ready to go tonight.